Do 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 do. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4. We've got 4 people here. 5, 6. I'm not sure if this is working yet. There we go. Alicia, good evening. Pippadot, Cessna 101. Good evening. Hi, Will. Did you know Duliron said he was going to try to join us? No, I had no idea. I've been working on this all day, ladies and gentlemen. This is I normally use StreamYard, but I finally had it with them and their service and complete lack of customer service. So I am streaming using Restream, a whole nother platform where I'm hoping the experience is a lot better. So we'll find out. So this is the first time I've ever used it. So we're gonna find out for sure. Good evening, left-handed RN. Didn't know you would make it tonight. Oh, Cessna 101. I will be here unless next week, next weekend is going to be a questionable if I make any either the Saturday or Sunday because I have surgery on Friday, so I have no idea what condition I'm going to be in afterwards. I don't even know if I'll be out of the hospital where or not. So, but I'm here tonight. Thank you for being here. Lieutenant RN, hi, Will. I got a note. You got notified? Well, that's cool. Is there anybody else get notification of this stream tonight? Because, like I said, normally I use StreamYard, but I'm done with using StreamYard. I'm going to be using this new service called Restream. They're not new. They've been around for a while. I've tested them once before, but this is the first time I'm flying solo on this platform. Cessna, you got notification. Amy, good evening. You just did? Well, good. I hope some people got notifications. I'm pretty sure that it didn't go out to everybody, but I hope you guys like the format. You're going to see a completely different format as opposed to how everything is displayed on the screen. With the questions and everything. So I hope you guys all enjoy this. It took me quite a few hours to do it, but it's more of a learning curve. I mean, obviously, as when I first started doing, putting this all together tonight, it took a while. But by the time I got to around the 30th question, I mean, I was just breezing through it by that point. Pippadot, Will, we are always here for you. And if you're not in the clear yet next weekend, we will know and be praying for you. Well, thank you. Okie dokie. Good evening. Hey, Will and everybody. Jess got notification. Oh, that's good. Brooks, good evening. Chat and Blue Wrenches. Yeah, I have. That's the one thing about the streaming service that I'm using now tonight. I have no idea how the wrenches or anything. I can't see who has a wrench. I can't see. All that shows me on my chat. I don't know what it's showing on your guys' end, but on my end here, it shows the names and it shows either an icon if you are on YouTube, or if you're joining us from Facebook, or if you're joining us from another social media site, because I'm streaming to everything right now. But it doesn't show me who is a subscriber or who's got a wrench, none of that. Where on YouTube and on StreamYard, it actually can show you that stuff. Inner Peas, good evening, welcome. I must be extra blessed. I always get notifications. Hi, Inner Peas. Hey, Will, I'm here. Hello, LOL. Oh, good. I'm glad everybody. Yeah, well, at least the majority of you got notifications for tonight. So, all 30 questions are music related. I would say about of the 30 questions, 27 of them are more pop oriented than anything else. I randomly just picked 30 questions, and had to just imported them. So I marked them on a sheet, and then they gave it to me in a spreadsheet, and then one by one I had to enter them. Molly, good evening. How are you doing, love? I hope you're having a great evening. I'm hanging in there, doing the best I can, staying ahead of the pain for right now. Are you? Wow, Pipda, are you a moderator? And no more haunted baby doll head. Blue, and it has a wrench. Okie dokie. All right. So I'm gonna click on this thing now, and you guys are gonna see how every one of the questions is going to be displayed tonight. As opposed to before, it used to be along the bottom in a thin little banner. Well, this is completely different. So let's see if I can do this. This is what you're going to see here in a second is the first question. Just like that. That's how every one of the questions is going to be displayed. You'll see me on one screen, and you will see the entire question on another screen next to it. So you should see two squares on your device. And that is the first question. Hold Me Now was a huge hit for this trio, released in 1983 in the UK. Who sang it? That is your first question for tonight for the trivia. Amy, good evening. Okie dokie. That's cute. And you're from Oklahoma. Diana Bowman, good evening. Lisa Smith, good evening. Hello. Hey. Amy's going with B. You guys can't see this, but I'm using dual monitors now for this. And I have a monitor just below, well, down below. Here's my main monitor. I have a monitor just below it, and it's a 39-inch display. So the whole screen is the question to me. Brooks, here's a story. Yes, I am a moderator on 2 channels. I miss my doll head. One of the channels made us change our picks to the moderator. Hey, Inner P is going with E. Elton John, Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer. Count the headlights on the highway. Welcome, Diana Bowman and Lisa Smith. The cross your fingers that after I give you the answers, if I can move to question number 2. I think I know how to do this, but we're going to find out really quickly in short order. The doll head was one of a kind, unique. Too bad. I saw your test come up yesterday. Yeah, that was my daughter sitting here, hitting keys. It was only about 5 seconds long, but we're getting there. But this is kind of like a preview of what every one of the streams, especially starting in November, will be like. every single one. The morning stream and the evening streams, I can change it between like different layouts, like the layout right here. I can reduce it to the questions to full screen, and I'm just a little tiny window. If you guys would prefer this view over the other one, I can do that. I can't make it 50-50 because of the way the questions are actually formatted to take up a majority of the actual screen. But this is a lot of things that would never work with StreamYard. Yes, StreamYard offered it, but we could never get it to work and function correctly. And they kept on telling us after they merged with another company that they were going to fix these things, but we never saw it get fixed. They just kept on telling us they were aware of the issue and that it wasn't working for some people on the newer Windows, and programs. But yeah. Big view, please. All right, we got one. I like the two boxes, same size, just as same boxes. I like the side by side, says Amy. Well, I've got this option. This one doesn't really work. See, where that's a 50-50, but it cuts the question off. So that one doesn't really work. And this one, I think this one works the best because at least you can see me, and I'm not this little tiny square in the corner. I can't move that square though. At least not yet. My daughter says that I can, or I can expand one more than the other, but I don't know how to do that yet. I'm learning. Reichart, good evening. Please keep it big, Will. I can't read small. Just joining in, guys. YouTube didn't notify me this time. No notification. I'm sorry, Reichart. Tiny Will. LOL. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if this one here. I'm in the tiny window. I'm closed in. The tiny window. Can't get out. All right. The question number one. The correct answer is A, the Thompson twins. Now, Lily Rose, good evening and welcome to True Crime Music Trivia tonight. I'm now going to try to toggle to question number two. Let's hope this works. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. Mario, good evening. Well, it's time for the phone a friend portion of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I have to call my tech support. Find out what I'm doing wrong. She didn't even answer. Went straight to voicemail. I haven't done anything yet. Okay, so I got done with the first question. Now, how do I get it to move on to the second question? Is it up, down, left, right? Yeah. I pushed. I did. I pushed the right button. It's still on the first question. Press down. Still same question. Okay, hold on. I gotta move to the other monitor. I hate this thing. Okay, I'm on the other monitor. Click on it, and then the next key. Okay, all right, got it. Thanks. Bye. Yes, bye. Okay. This is question number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, question number 2 is, what 1982 Tom Cruise movie featured Bob Seger's song Old Time Rock and Roll? Try tab. Yeah. It was because I had the cursor on the wrong screen. I have to move it to the second screen for it to work. We got BBB Risky Business. Donna, good evening. Welcome to the music trivia night. I'm glad you could be here with us. Will, make yourself bigger. Well, if they have this option, or I gotta move to the other monitor again. I like this view better, but I mean, some of you have said that it's too small a print for you on your device. Wake up, not Top Gun. It's Risky Business. Wow. Rykart says miniature Will. Side by side says Lisa. That's this here. I mean, we only have 3 options of different views. We've got this. We've got the one that I just had before it, where it's the question is the full screen, and I'm a miniature little, in the bottom corner. And then we have the 50-50, which we can't do because it cuts half of the question off. I'm sure I could call my daughter back and we could spend the next 2 hours on tech support with her, and she could teach me or tell me how to I mean, there's 7 different total view options that it gives, but I don't know how to do the other ones. This is the one that I was trying earlier. See, where I'm just a little picture on the bottom, and the picture, the question's bigger, but I can't reverse it, so the picture's at the top and I'm there. Perfect. I'll have to figure out how to read. I'm sorry, Pippadot. Well, I say we're going to go with this one because it's a lot easier for me. Because when I change the view to the other one, it changes the view on my other monitor, so it's a little bit harder for me to read on my end as well. So, all right. Inner Peace is going with E. Little picture of Will on the bottom. So, answer to question number 2 is B as in boy. Risky Business. Old time of rock and roll. Going on to question number 3. I'm on the wrong monitor again. This is going to take some getting used to. There we go. Question number 3. Which band gave us the top 100 hit Broken Wings in 1985? Was it A, The Wings, B, Mr. Mister, C, ABBA, or D, Culture Club? Good evening, James Taylor. How are you doing? I hope you had a wonderful week. Oh, not me, Amy. I, I'm my entire family. This is the honest truth, Amy. My entire family is surprised that I do this at all because when it comes to technology, I am the last person you ever would call to do anything. If my phone stopped working for some reason, I bring it to my daughter and I'm like, please fix it, fix it. I'm getting to the point though. My 5-year-old is going to be able to fix it. I mean, he knows more about computers and how this stuff works than I do. I don't. Everything when it comes to a case, that I'm researching for my channel, that I write everything down in notebooks. The answers are written down on this notebook. I've got all these. This is just the past month. All of these, the last month, 30 days. Now I'm switching to composition notebooks. Good evening. I like that with the mechanical stuff. I can't put together a sandwich. I can do a lot of other things. I mean, new cars, they don't confuse me. I can understand them. It's these computers, and the software. I mean, if once I've gotten used to it and I know how to use it, yeah, I can breeze through it. It's just anything new, or if an error comes up, yeah, I don't have a clue. I just kind of stare at it and go, please fix yourself. Please fix yourself. Well, we do have the same notebook addiction. I know I'm not alone. I buy them by the box. Notebooks. I go to Walmart and it's what $6 for an entire box of them. I got go in 20 minutes, expecting an important phone call. So thank you in advance. Well, okie dokie. You have a great night. Thank you. In 20 minutes when you leave, if I miss you. Inner Peace is going with Bette Midler because you are the wind beneath my wings. James is going with Mr. B. It has to self-destruct button. I will find it. All right, question number 3. The correct answer is B as in boy. Mr. Question number 4. What group had a hit in 1980 with Funky Town? Was it A, Flaming Lips, B, Lips and Twist, C, Lips Incorporated, or D, Rush? And where is the cursor? I moved it. There it is. Oh, cool. All right. So normally you would see my logo there, but I haven't uploaded the logo yet. Just wanted to see if it actually worked. Oh, well, that's cool. I just found the button to invite people. Add a source. I don't know what that is. What's a source? Don't know. Ooh, I don't know what a source is. What group had a hit in 1980 with Funky Town? Okie dokie. If I miss you, have a great weekend. Great week, not weekend. Yeah, C's and some D's and Reichardt C with I's. Won't you take me to Funky Town? It says add a source. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'll figure it out though. We're gonna play with this next week instead of it, doing a test where it actually streams to YouTube. We've set up a fake group on Facebook. There's nobody in the group and it's a closed group. So we're going to use that to test streaming to. So we can see if, on a laptop, if it's actually streaming correctly while we go through all of it. And she shows me how to use most of the features. So, Janie, good evening. Well, we're only on question number 4. So give you a moment to look over question number 4, which is what group had a hit in 1980 with Funky Town? Now we can see Modern Murders music playlist on Spotify. With Modern Murders music playlist on Spotify. Eventually, right, Cart? Mine and my wife's podcast will end up on Spotify. We're working towards it. We're hoping that we get everything situated so we can start in January, and we'll still do occasional upload to YouTube or do both, but we're getting. That's why the other reason why we're using Restream is because Restream will record video and audio together, and they'll also make a separate file of just audio, so we can just upload directly, from the streams on Restream to Spotify. I mean, my 401 now is not going anywhere. I'm going to be on YouTube because it's not only video but it's audio as well. So, I mean, I know you can upload both to Spotify, but we want to do the podcast first to Spotify and then see how that works. And if it works out, then maybe have 401 out now on both, as a video and audio. So we'll see. All right. The answer to question number 4. Good evening, Stephanie Fisher. I'm glad you could be here with us. Will, where are your moderators? I don't know. Pip Dot, I don't know if there's any. See, that's the other thing is with Restream, I can't see. Normally, we have a private pop-out chat, and I don't know if any of them are in the private chat right now or not, or if they're even here. I don't know. They could be here. Willis is normally in the stream somewhere, but he never says hello. So, all right, question number 4. The correct answer is C, as in cat. Lips Incorporated had the hit in 1980 with Funky Town. All right, question number 5. Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, whatever you call them, they had a number 1 song in 1985. Which was it? Was it A, Sunshine Nights, B, Dancing in the Rain, C, Take Me On, or D, We Built This City? Inner Peace is your rock star mod. Lisa's on a winning streak. Ooh, look at all those D's that just flew in there. I have the best fans in the world, and fans, subscribers, moderators. They are the best. I couldn't do this without every one of you being here with me. I like the new screen setup. Well, thank you, Stephanie. I hope that everybody enjoys this. The surrounding around it with the dots and stuff. I just picked one at random. We'll fine tune this and we'll be able to actually change the background to something that's more aesthetic looking than dots. But I mean, there were so many of them, and I had to pick one so we can move on. So I was just like, we'll just go with the standard, dot one. So we're getting there though. Pippa dot. I'm so winning. 4 for 4. Well, good. So this one, question number 5: Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, whatever you call them. They had a #1 song in 1985. Which one was it? A lot of people went with D. Saw you on Duty-Ron stream earlier. Well, welcome, Lori Nick 65. I'm always over there on Duty-Ron's stream. I may not always say hello, but I'm generally there, lurking in the background. But yeah, I had to stop in tonight because I wanted to listen to it. I was really interested in the subject matter tonight. But also to send him my support. He's a great guy. I really enjoy Duty-Ron's content. But I'm glad you could be here with us, Lori Nick 65. I hope you remember me from way back in the day. Donna, I had to set up a new YouTube. Donna, I do not remember the name Donna right now. I'm looking at the profile picture. The profile picture looks somewhat familiar, but I'm not sure if I'm confusing it with somebody else. But I am truly sorry if I do not recall you right away. This is a great community. Well, thank you, Mario. I appreciate it. I love the new setup. The questions and answers on the screen. What it looks like. It was so much easier to see while I was multitasking. All right, question number 5. The correct answer that so many people already guessed is D as in dog. D as in dog. We built this city. A lot of people actually think the saying, they remember the first line. We built this city on rock and roll, but the name of the song is We Built This City. So, Armchair Detective, MI5, good evening. All right, question number 6. According to the opening lyrics of Bruce Springsteen's 1980 song Hungry Hearts, in which city did the singer have a wife and kids? Is it A, New York, B, New Jersey, C, Baltimore, or D, Las Vegas? Okay, the restream in the top right read as restroom. And no, I'm not the only one. Restream, restroom. Well, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Reichardt does not know this one. Take a guess, Reichardt. I'm sure you can figure it out. I mean, it's 1 in 4 chance, right? Tell you the truth, Reichardt, I didn't know the answer to this one either. I actually had to pull up the song on YouTube and listen to it to actually hear the song, and then I'm like, oh man, I can't believe I forgot that, because I have one Bruce Springsteen album behind me over here, only one, and it does not have this song on it. I have no idea. C, says Jess. Bruce Springsteen is on Spotify podcast with Obama. Oh, Pippa Dot might miss her first one. What did you guess, Pippa Dot? Restream, restroom. Excuse me. According to the opening lyrics of Bruce Springsteen's 1980 song "Hungry Heart," in which city did the singer have a wife and kids? I can hear the chorus in my head, but I don't know the verses. Lisa Smith says I picked Baltimore because others are obvious. Right card's going with C. The correct answer to question number 6 is C, as in cat, Baltimore. Will I will. That was always in your lives, and especially when you and your buddy would do lives. Now, fun. That was. Oh, Donna, that was my buddy Tim. Yeah. So those crazy nights have all gone away. It was all ruined by one too many people who decided to report everything that we were doing to YouTube and to anybody else that would listen to how much their lives suck, and then how much of a great time everybody else was having. That's the way the world works now, especially on the internet. In a lot of aspects. I mean, you see somebody happier than you, somebody else having fun. Well, how dare they? So, all right. Baltimore was the correct answer for question 6. Moving on to question number 7. A top-selling tune from 1980 was "Woman in Love" from Barbra Streisand. The question is, who wrote it? Who wrote "Woman in Love"? Was it A, Megadeth, B, Tito Jackson, C, Barry and Robin Gibb, or D, Matthew Wilder? No, it was, Donna. We had a lot of fun. We want to do something similar to that again on one of my other channels. And it's just, Tim lives a little less than 600 miles away. So he only comes into town now once every couple of weeks. And it's a little bit harder now, especially going towards the holidays. But, he'll eventually move back here once the contract that he's currently working on is finished. What's the E option? Inner peas. Pretty sure it wasn't Megadeth, says Amy. A lot of C's. E, Weird Al Yankovic. I saw one tonight. My son was watching Weird Al Yankovic on the TV in the living room. And the song was Weird Al Yankovic's "Sue Me," but I have no idea what the actual basis of that song was. But he was spoofing Rage Against the Machine and Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine. But he was also spoofing like 2 other artists at the same time in the same song. It was like a mismatch. But Megadeth, LOL. That was a good one. Dave Mustang saying "Woman in Love." Wouldn't that be crazy? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for question number 7, the correct answer is C, as in cat. Again, Barry and Robin Gibb. Moved it. All right. Question number 8. AC/DC song "You Shook Me All Night Long" first appeared in their 1980 album Back in Black. The song was later re-released on what album? A, Greatest Hits Volume 1, B, Thunderstruck, C, White Album, or D, Who Made Who? I actually went to this concert. I do not have the record here in front of me. That's in the house. But I went and saw AC/DC play in concert in downtown Minneapolis at the Hubert H. Humphrey Dome. Play Who Made Who. That was the album that was out at the time. Inner Peace. Thriller. I never saw Michael Jackson in concert. Never did. Saw Prince. Never saw Michael Jackson. Saw a lot of the great bands of the 80s playing concert. Rock, pop, saw it all. Metal, punk, a lot of concerts. I've been to hundreds and hundreds of concerts. And I cannot keep track of just how many. But why not greatest hits? Not sure. Who made who? Who made you? Janie Purnell. Cox is going with D. Didn't AC/DC have different singers, or am I losing it? No, Amy. No, they had different singers. Bon Scott was one of them. Well, I think they had what, 3? Correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody knows the answer to this, did AC/DC have 3 different lead singers? Cessna F01 is going F. LOL. I wish you could have seen Michael Jackson. MJ was my very first concert. You loved it, Stephanie. After Christ Devil comes AC/DC. F. Burl Ives. Oh. All right, question number 8. The correct answer is who made who? D as in dog is the correct answer. If you guessed anything else, you must not have been listening to what I said. I gave the answer away. That's why I went like this. I'm sitting here and I'm reading the question and I'm like, yep, I went to see this album played in concert on the Who Made Who. I was like, oh, shit. I gave away the answer. Who Made Who was the name of the album that they re-released the song on. All right, question number 9. Christopher Cross went to the top of the charts with This Way of Getting from Point A to Point B in 1980. Can you name the tune? Was it A, Flying to the Moon, B, Sailing, C, Driving, or D, Skipping? I am still here. I have not gone anywhere. You have not lost the video. I have turned the video off temporarily. Christopher Cross. B, Stephanie Fisher. Oh, we're both 39. B, 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 B. We had a lot of B's. Inner P's is going with E. Is that a sailboat? Well, sailing is B. Brooks is going with B. Reichardt's going with a cigarette in B because he knows exactly what I'm doing. Skipping, nothing more than manly than skipping. Nothing wrong with skipping. I skip sometimes. Mainly when I'm mocking, a friend of mine. Yeah, I mean it in a nice way. It's not like I'm mocking him to be hurtful. I have no idea who Chris Cross is. Well, Chris Cross is different from Christopher Cross because there was a band called Chris Cross. And all they wanted you to do is jump, jump. Everybody get down and jump, jump. And they wore all their clothes backwards. Crisscross. Jump, jump. I can name that tune in 3 notes. I would so love to try to incorporate something like that, interpiece, in into a live stream. But anything at all, even if we were to do something like that, like name that tune, in musical notes. Now I can name that tune in 3 notes or 5 notes or whatever, just like the old television show that used to be on. Anything like that would be an automatic copyright infringement if the song is still underneath copyright protection, even if we changed it to a guitar or a piano or whatever, it would be a copyright infringement according to YouTube's policies. We actually checked on that by asking YouTube. We play as a family. We call it music bingo. That sounds like fun. Yep. Yeah. There's a band out there still that's called Crisscross, but it's not the same members. The one member is dead, unfortunately. The other one, I think, pretty much gave up music altogether. But they were popular for a while. When people got it in 1 note, I was like floored. Yeah, I can name that tune in one note. I think somebody told me once that the way that show used to work was they told them we will give you these are like there are 30 songs that we're picking from tonight, and you have to name the songs from the list of 30. And they're only going to do like 10 or 15 total songs at the maximum per or how many they would do per show. 10, I think it was at the most. But so it wasn't like they had a guess from every song ever made. They knew what songs were on like a list. All right. Turn the camera back on so everybody can see me. I love the show. Bring it back. All right. Chris Cross went to the top of the charts with this way of getting from point A to point B in 1980. Can you name the tune? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, to question number 9 is B as in boy, sailing. Now on to question number 10. Blondie had a #1 single in 1980, which was the theme from a motion picture, American Gigolo. That song was called A, Rocket Man, B, One More Night Alone, C, We Love 411 Now, or D, Call Me. Blondie had a #1 single in 1980, which was the theme from the motion picture American Gigolo. Which was Wayne Grady. I can't think of the name. Wayne Grady. Milli Vanilli. I saw Milli Vanilli. Yeah, I moved it. I can't move the damn cursor. There it is. So I get back up to it. Milli Vanilli, fake posers, pretending music. Yeah, you know what the worst part about Milli Vanilli was? Is both of them were very talented and are probably still are if they're alive, but they were very talented musically, individually. They just didn't have the voices to be able to pull off the songs that they, became famous for. That wasn't them singing, but they were both extremely talented musically. In writing, playing musical instruments, composing, all of it in every aspect. They didn't have to do that. That was something, that just the music, label and everything, everybody, came together and said, well, you guys can't hit these notes. So I bet we could, get somebody else to do it and you just dance to it and lip sync. So they did. Wayne hosted a musical lyric show. Can't think of the name of it. Wayne Brady. C for the win. We can all retire with cocktails and Will on YouTube now. I like the singing D or something. Dagwood. Interpete is going with E. Dagwood eating a sandwich. They're all like Joe Exotic. Lily Rose is going. It says one more question that she knows the answer to. Blondie was my sister's nickname in high school. Everybody called her Blondie, but she didn't really have like really blonde hair. It was kind of like a dirty blonde, but everybody called her Blondie. Blondie had a #1 single in 1980, which was themed from the motion picture American Gigolo. That song was called. The answer to question number 10 is D as in dog, call me. Number 10 is D, call me. They did like a show where people who really sang from Milli Vanilli, but they didn't get any fame really. Huh. Sounds like an interesting show, Amy. I just don't know it. Sorry. All right, where am I at? All right, question number 11. Queen started out 1980 with their first U.S. #1 hit. Which one was it? A. Adventures in Wonderland. B. Crazy Times for Love. C. Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Or D. Adventures in Crazy Love. I felt like the real band should have been treated better. Matthew, good evening. Welcome to the stream, Matthew. Matt, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. My call came in. Granddaughter is on the phone. Switch to laptop. Your favorite band of all time, Lisa? Oh, that's good. We've got a lot of C's. C, 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 C. Another one bites the dust. That's a great song. Good. Glad you had a great weekend, Matt. Oh, Pippadot. No, you missed one? No. I have tickets to Cody Johnson next month. Just seen Justin Moore a few months ago. Ooh, that'd be cool, Donna. Me and my sister have rain check tickets still. According to Ticketmaster, they're still going to honor them if they redo the dates for Luke Combs. Well, because of COVID, his shows got canceled. But we have an open ticket, and if they ever decide to put the show back on, then we can use the ticket to go see him. You have respect for Adam La. Saw parents in Gold Canyon, Arizona. Very fun. Well, you read it wrong. I have not missed one. Oh, I'm sorry, Pippadot. I thought it said that you missed one. Queen went to the Wizard of Oz and sang Adventures in Wonderland. Adam Lambert for singing for Freddie Mercury. All right, question number 11. The correct answer, as so many people have already guessed, was C, as in cat. Donna, you live in Missouri and you're going to Tulsa to see him? That's cool. Tulsa, Oklahoma, pretty place. I've been there a couple of times. But C is in cat, crazy little thing called love for number 11, C. Question 12. This 70s glam band made a comeback of sorts in the 1980s thanks to MTV with the video Run, Runaway. Who is it? Was it A, Jefferson Airplane, B, Nico, C, Slade, or D, Afternoon Delight? Didn't know that was their first hit. Amazing band. C, right cart is just going with I can see. And Armchair Detective MI5 is going with C. For question number 12. Inner Peas, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do I have any Earth, Wind, and Fire out here? I look. Yeah, I don't know. I know I have them. I just don't know if I have them out here if they're in the house. So I got Four Tops, Morris Day, Katie Webster, Big Daddy Kinsley, Lemon Sisters. Hey, look, Scooby Doo, the Smurfs. Lonnie Brooks, Sweet Honey in the Rock, Diana Warwick, Joe Jackson, Lead Belly, Marvin Gaye, Pointer Sisters, the OJs, Donna Summers, Albert King, Benton Buster, Duke Ellington, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Thelonious Monk, Leadbelly, Ella Fitzgerald, and Harry Belafonte. No, I don't have it. I don't have any Earth, Wind, and Fire out here. Love their music. I'd have to go in the house and get one. Smurfs, Reichard. I've got them all. This is just a small section of the records that I have, but I've got soundtracks to and music for all kinds of. I got comedy albums. Oh. Flashdance, Quest for Fire, Love Story, Empire Strikes Back, Dick Dale, Good Morning Vietnam, Orson Welles, The War of the Worlds, This Old World in Hell of a Fix, Monty Python, George Carlin, Monty Python, and George Carlin. I got more than that, though. These are just the ones that I listen to more often. Can't go wrong with George Carlin. You got the Chipmunks? Yes, I do. I got Alvin and Theodore and the Chipmunks. That disco. I've got their disco albums. I love me some Ella. Had Schwarzenegger. I named Schnauzer. You named Jazzy Alley Phipps. Love the dang dog. We were bread and butter. The two of us. Oh, that's cool, Janie. Sweet Honey and the Rocks. Leadbelly. I love Leadbelly. I know the woman who started Sweet Honey in the Rock. That's cool. All right. Question number 12. The correct answer is C, as in cat. I'm gonna move this cursor to the other monitor. I can remember how to do it. There we go. Question number 13. What band had hits with Favorite Shirts, Boy Meets Girl, and Love Plus One? How about the California Raisins? Donna? I do not think I have any California Raisins. I may, but I don't think so. Slade had made more money than any other band in royalties. Did not know that. What band had hits with Favorite T-Shirts, Boy Meets Girl, and Love Plus One? Is it A, Janet Jackson, B, Paul Simon, C, Jumping Jack Flash, or D, Haircut 100? No, what? It wasn't A for 12? 12 was C, as in cat. I can go back quickly. 1970s glam band made a comeback of sorts in the 1980s thanks to MTV with the video Runaway. Who is it? The correct answer was Slade. Slade was the correct answer. We are on question number 13. Right card's going with A, Janet Jackson, pivot dot D, Lisa, 11 for 12, California Interpeas and California Raisins. You know, I might have like a record of them, California Raisins. I'm just not sure. But I'm pretty sure that I don't, though. Mainly because when the California Raisins came out, I'll give you guys a short little side story to this, the California Raisins. When the California Raisins explosion, whatever you call it, fame happened, was the same time that the Cabbage Patch Dolls came out. So I was working as a teenager. I was working at a Target store during Christmas. My life was a living hell because they gave you a telephone. You had to call. I mean, an intercom thing, but then you had to go to an actual phone on a thing and pick it up and actually talk to people who were calling the store looking for things, and they're begging you for Cabbage Patch dolls constantly. Well, at the same time, California raisins come out, and they put that stupid those raisins on everything. So it was in the automotive department. It was on T-shirts. It was on everything. They cross promoted that stuff everywhere. So, and if you name it, it was in the toy department. It was in the automotive, clothing, cosmetics, everywhere. So every department got slammed with people requesting California raisin stuff, and I hated them. I could not stand the sight of California raisins for so long. I had a California raisins figurines when you were a kid. I wish I still had them all. The Garbage Patch Kids freaked me out. Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah, the Cabbage Patch dolls were insanity. I watched grown women beat the living snot out of each other for not just a Cabbage Patch doll, but the accessories. And it got to the point though where when a new shipment of Cabbage Patch dolls would come into the store, it had to be escorted by two police cars to bring it to the store, and so we could unload it, and then it had to go into a cage that was locked, so we could actually get the stuff out onto the shelves. People would try to hide in the store overnight, and disguise themselves as employees or other vendors in the store so they could be the first ones to get it. It was insane. If anybody remembers the Cabbage Patch doll, craze when it came out, it was crazy. All right, question number 13. What band had hits with favorite shirts, Boy Meets Girl, and plus Love Plus One? One of my figures sang. Wow. Just Googled California Raisins. Were they a band? They sang. Well, they were like cartoon characters, like animated, like claymation, and they did songs by the Four Tops, and they did all kinds of songs, but they were dancing and singing to it. They weren't real people. The Backstreet Boys, kind of like the Backstreet Boys. Question number 13. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is D as in dog. Haircut 100. I didn't remember who this was. I still don't know who they are. Haircut 100 is the correct answer. Excuse me. NSYNC. Like the PS5 craze now? No, it's a lot worse than that, Matt. A lot worse. I mean, the PS5 craze, when it came out, people, they were willing to pay a couple $100 markup price. Back then, this was like pre-internet, days, but people they were paying $4, $5, $10, $20, $1,000 plus over the markup of the actual Cabbage Patch doll, just to get one in time for Christmas. They would have done anything. I mean, people went to extreme lengths to get them. They would hire people to stand in line for them just so they could get have the chance to get one. It was crazy. I hated that. That was the only time that I ever worked in retail. That trust me, that burnt me out of ever working in a retail setting ever again. I was like, nope, never doing it again. My son just paid $500 for a PS5 yesterday. Oh my, is that what they're going for now? Damn. All right. Next question. Question number 14. Which band came out with the album Candy Apple Gray, released 3 times in the 1980s? Was it A, Husker Du, B, Bob Marley, C, Bob Mansfield, or D, The Replacements? Which band came out with the album Candy Apple Gray? Oh, yeah, it's a doll, but it came with a birth certificate, Matt. It did. It came with adoption papers. It was insane. You couldn't do anything with it except for carry it around and look at it and dress it up. I saw something recently about certain Cabbage Patch dolls being worth a lot of money. They had names like little and little adoption papers. Yeah, Amy. Yeah, they came with little adoption papers. Every one of them did, because they don't want to be the replaceable. DB LOL DA. Donna's going with A. She's bunking the trend and going with A. Everybody else is going with something else. S. Singleton, good evening. Welcome to Music Trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Armchair Detective's going with A as well. Brooks is picking. Brooks picked A. All right, that's three people who are guessing A. Inner Peace is going off the rail with KC and the Sunshine Band. 1985 Cabbage Patch Dolls named Teresa Ann is worth $2,000 today. Jesus, what? My mom named my little brother after a Cabbage Patch doll. Oh my God. Reichardt pick A. Matthew's going with Z. Nobody has guessed any letter that far down the alphabet. Reichardt wins for the far. Matt guesses. Matt guessed Z, so he's the farthest away from the answer. Either that or he fell asleep. I did. Hope you're all are great. I got by. 2K insane. I bought a Cabbage Patch doll for its clothes. You know what? I don't know. Maybe there's nobody else out there that remembers these things from the 80s. But in the early 80s, I think it was that the Teddy Ruxpin, nobody wants the damn Teddy Ruxpin doll. They want the tape recorder out of it, because those tape recorders that are inside the Teddy Ruxpins are worth hundreds of dollars if you can find one that's not broken. And the reason why it's so valuable is because so many of them, there was a gear inside there that they made cheaply. Instead of it being made out of metal, it was made out of plastic. And after time, it stripped the gear itself, so it just stopped playing. So you put the cassette in, and it just never would play again. Well, those people who have the Teddy Ruxpins who actually like them, there's very few of the actual tape players where the band inside there that controls the motor hasn't snapped or worn away over all these years, and that gear isn't broken. But if you can find a tape recorder thing that goes inside of the Teddy Ruxpin that's not broken, I know those are worth hundreds of dollars. I went to a toy show thing, collectible show, I guess you call it. It was a couple of years ago though, but people were paying $300-400 for those stupid recorders out of it. They were literally with a pair of scissors, they're cutting the doll apart right there just to get the recorder out of it. I'm trying to get back down to the screen there. There we go. All right, question number 14. Which band came out with the album Candy Apple Gray 3 times in the 1980s? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is A. Husker Du. Maybe you remember the lead singer of Husker Du, Bob Mould, was the lead singer of Husker Du. The reason why the album came out 3 times was the first album cover was banned because it was considered inappropriate material for minors. The second album cover that came out actually had it was supposed to be multicolored, like red, black, and silver, but the silver that they used on it started flaking off of the actual album cover, so they had to remake it. So the third time it was all one solid color, and then they printed that on, and then they printed the other 2 additional colors on top of it. So it was like really thick, like color combo on the actual jacket itself. But Candy Apple Gray, one of the best albums ever by Husker Du, except for the Land Speed record, which is #1 in my book. All right. Question number 15. The Bugles video Killed the Radio Star was the first song played on MTV. What was the second? What was the second? We're looking for the second song that was played on MTV when MTV first started. And before anybody wants to guess, every single one of these songs on this list was played in the first 8 hours of MTV being on the air for the very first time. But the Bugles were first with Video Killed the Radio Star, but all these other ones played within the first 8 hours. But we're looking for what song was the second one played. Amy, you love old Barbies? No, there's some Barbies that are worth some serious money. Just like your old G.I. Joes. G.I. Joe, the greatest American hero. Better than the ones now. I don't think toys that are made today, well, they're certainly not made to the quality of toys, the level of toys, that I had when I was a kid. I mean, then again, one of my favorite toys growing up was always like Lincoln Logs and picnic sticks, or whatever they're called. Picnic sticks or something like that. You had like these round cogs with holes drilled in them and wooden sticks. I mean, then again, we also had jarts. Anybody remember playing that thing where you threw like big, huge, giant metal darts? You threw them into a circle. Well, that was what the game was supposed to be. But me and my sisters used to chase each other around in the backyard and throw them at each other. I mean, we're talking heavy dart. But we all survived without too much damage. I remember when G.I. Joe was a little green Hulk, was plastic. Well, can you read the choices? My eyes are bad. Sure, Stephanie. Question number 15. The Bugles video Killed the Radio Star was the first song played on MTV. What was the second? The options are A, The Who, You Better You Bet. B, Pat Benatar, You Better Run. C, The Styx, Rockin' the Paradise. Or D, The Pretenders, Brass in Pockets. Lawn darts dying. And no seatbelts. Seatbelts? What the hell are seatbelts? Wow. Looks like light-skinned black woman, 1959, is the date on her lover. Wow, that's cool. I don't have any of the toys left from when I was a kid. They're all gone. It's surprising. A lot of the value in a lot of these toys now is people wanting to relive, the toys from their youth. I remember what my niece when she was growing up. This is 25 years ago, somewhere in there, because she's like 26 now. But I had bought one of the original Easy Bake ovens, one of the original ones, not like the stupid ones that they make now that don't have any power to them at all, but the ones that could sear your freaking hand off by trying to remove a stupid little cake pan from it, that for a disgusting cookie or pan cake. But I bought her one of those, and we played with that thing until when we used up everything that we could possibly buy to cook in it. And Armchair Detectives is guessing B. Pat Benatar didn't release the pretend. At least the Pretenders went back that far. Or on the back of a truck sitting on the sides. Yeah. How did we all survive? The Bugles video Killed the Radio Star was the first song played on MTV. What was the second song? Inner Peace is going with E. The Pringles. Potato chips in a can. Yum. Chemistry sets that would singe your eyebrows off. And don't forget radioactive material. And it was called. I had a Mr. Science lab, and it was like a home. One of these kit things you bought. It had little glass beakers and glass vials and stuff like that you can mix things together. But it actually had radioactive material in it. I don't know how much, but it had radium in it. We all survived on Twinkies. Twinkies and well, what was the one that predated Pop Tarts? They were square, not like like the Pop Tart, but they were actual square. Like each side was the same length. They're like toasted squares or something like that. Not to be dark, but we all survived because some kids didn't, and that's why we have the lost change. Maybe. I mean, there are kids that die today on stuff like this. It's probably true though. We survived because some kids didn't. All right, question number 15. What was the second song that ever played on MTV? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B, as in boy. Pat Benatar's You Better Run was the second song ever played. The Styx was third. The fourth one was The Who, and last was the Pretenders on this list. But Pat Benatar's You Better Run was the second song played on MTV. The day that MTV went on the air. All 8 of these songs, all those songs, played within the first 8 hours. And several of them repeated. There we go. All right, question number 16. What soundtrack from the 80s still has over 13 Billboard records, including most copies sold? Is it A, Top Gun soundtrack, B, Purple Rain soundtrack, C, Pretty in Pink soundtrack, or D, Swiss Family Robinson soundtrack? What soundtrack from the 1980s still has over 13 Billboard records, including most copies sold? Now, I have these ones set aside because I wanted to use these in this, but this, I'm not saying this is the actual answer to the question, but Pretty in Pink. Look at Ducky. Look at him. I was holding it would have been Ozzy, but guessing I'll go with B. B is Purple Rain soundtrack. Jet's mom, good evening. Jet's mom would say Dirty Dancing. In her P's, E, Sound of Music. What soundtrack from the 80s still has over 13 Billboard records, including most copies sold? Yeah, Ducky. Red card's going with AB. The Bernadette song, isn't that the one? I don't know. I personally like A, but I know how big B is, so it's tough. It's whining about bullying. It's never going to go away. Kids must learn to deal with it or put a stop to it. Can I change my mind to C? Lots of great songs on C. See, what songs are on the Pretty in Pink album? In Pretty in Pink album, we have If You Leave by Orchestra. Hell, my glasses. I can't read this small, tiny print on the back anymore. Oh, orchestral maneuvers in the dark. Then we have Left of Center by Suzanne Vega featuring Joe Jackson. Then we have Get to Know Ya by Jesse Johnson. Do Won't You Do by In Excess. Pretty in Pink by the Psychedelic Furs. Side 2, we have Shelly Rock by New Order. Then we have Round Round by Belosi Sam. Then we have Won't It Be Good by Danny Hutton Hitters. Then we have Bring On the Dancing Horses by Echo and the Bunnymen. Then we have Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want by the Smiths. Those are the songs on Pretty in Pink. New rules for Sunday night. Will has to wear his glasses the entire time. It probably do me a lot of good. All right. Question number 16. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B as in boy. Purple Rain soundtrack has 13 Billboard records. Over 13. There's actually 14, or I think it was originally 15 records, but total. But there are 13 still, or that I know of, including most copies sold for a soundtrack. Question. Go this way. There we go. Question number 17. What band wrote the title song for Pretty in Pink in 4 days and recorded it in 6 to have it included on the soundtrack to the movie? Is it A, New Order, B, Danny Hutton Hitters, C, the Smiths, or D, the Psychedelic Furs? Pivot up, try octo. I would wear my kid shoes and little shorts and dance right to Big Girls Don't Cry. Is that the I got the song in my head. It's a lady is singing it, isn't it? Big Girls Don't Cry. Chanel's. Inner Peas is going with E. Huey Lewis in the News. Well, I'm jealous that you got it went bye-bye. I didn't even get a chance to read the question. Where'd it go? Will, I'm jealous that you've got that vinyl. Oh, I would be. I mean, I'm sure we all have things that, you know. This is probably the only thing that I've collected and kept my entire life. This is only a small portion of what I have. Fergie. Yeah, I don't think it's Fergie. I'm trying to figure out how to move the stupid cursor from one monitor to another. Can't remember if I go out the left side or right side or what half the time. There it is. Question number 17. What band wrote the title song for Pretty in Pink in 4 days and recorded it in 6 to have it included on the soundtrack, which I have right here, for the movie? The dot's going with D, Psychedelic Furs. Donna, no. Blessed be his name. Yes. And welcome to Music Trivia. Blessed be his name. I'm glad you could be here with us. Classic rock excluded the 80s hair metal. I'm clueless other than that. I'm sorry, Janie. Well, the correct answer for question number 17 is D as in dog, the Psychedelic Furs. Psychedelic Furs. Question number 18. On the original album cover for Close Encounters of the Third Kind, how many alien craft are pictured? Is it A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, or D, 0? Was the same band that made the motion picture soundtrack for White Chicks? Was that the same band? I don't know. Right, Kurt, to tell you the truth, I have no idea who did the soundtrack for White Chicks. I don't have any idea. Dirty Dancing makes me miss Patrick Swayze. No. Well, I mean, I can get why you like, Dirty Dancing, Patrick Swayze, Ghost. It's a great story, but Ghost. When I think of Patrick Swayze, I always think of either Ghost or was it Point Blank, whatever it was, Point Blank Ridge. I think that's the name of the movie. Even though my favorite movie of his was actually Point Break. Good movie. Very good movie. Both of them were. Love the soundtrack next to Pulp Fiction. Then Grease. Grease. I don't think I have that up here. I know I have it. The original one from the movie tie-in with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. I know I have that one somewhere. E.T. I have Extraterrestrial. I have that in the house. I know I do. It's in one of these like plastic slips and it's been taped shut because it's never been opened. Music in Dirty Dancing was great. Yeah. Point Break. What about Roadhouse? We can't forget about Roadhouse, where he was a badass in Roadhouse. On the original album cover for Close Encounters of the Third Kind, how many alien crafts are pictured? Cessna 101 is going with 1. Got a whole bunch of guesses. They're all over the board. American Graffiti was good too. I don't have the American Graffiti soundtrack. So it's one of the ones I know it's on my list of ones that I'm trying to get. One of the originals. Just feel sad for his pancreatic cancer was really wasted him away. It was awful. Yeah. Very few people, survived the especially at the level that his pancreatic cancer was caught at, but when, very few people survived it at that point. Is Huey Lewis still alive? Interpeas? I believe he is. I mean, you're asking Interpeas, but I believe he is. All right. How many alien ships were pictured on the original cover of Close Encounters of the Third Kind? The correct answer is D. 0. There are no alien ships on the album cover for Close Encounters of the Third Kind. There is on the inside, but that's not the cover. That's the cover. It's kind of a trick question, isn't it? But it is not the cover. That's the inside. It's called the gatefold. I finally got one. I believe that makes me 4 for 5 for me tonight. All right. Well, maybe you'll get the next one. What year was Jethro Tull's album Living in the Past released? Was it A, 1969, B, 1972, C, 1977, or D, 1970? You have Urban Cowboy, left-handed RN. Well, that's cool. With John Travolta. The cover with John Travolta dressed up in cowboy gear on the front of it. What year was Jethro Tull's album Living in the Past released? We got B, C, Fooey. B, C, I don't know this one. Lieutenant RN. Yep. That's the answer to the Urban Cowboy with John Travolta on the front of it and cowboy, dressed up like a cowboy. That Singleton is going with D. 1970. Reichardt D, just a guess. Brooks is going with B. What year was Jethro Tull's album Living in the Past released? Janie pronounced in 1972. I know this because my dad and I used to do driving trivia, and I learned this amongst other things. Well, and Janie is correct. The correct answer is B, as in boy, 1972. Jethro Tull's Living in the Past. This is a 4-album set, and each one of them has a picture of the band. So there are actually 4 records in the first set. Subsequent set releases on vinyl came on 2 records, but this is the 4-record set. The 4th and final record, there's only a recording on the A side. The B side is completely blank. All right, next question. Where is my cursor again? There it is. Question number 20. What was the biggest UK selling single in the year 1983? Was it A, Bless These Hearts, B, Our House, C, Karma Chameleon, or D, Live Aid? Do they know it's Christmas? What was the biggest selling single in the year 1983 in the UK? I love Tull more than Zeppelin. I have quite a few records by Jethro Tull in here. I wouldn't say that I love Jethro Tull's music more than Zeppelin, but they're pretty close, in my opinion. I'm glad you didn't ask what his middle name is. Hazel Turner, good evening. Welcome to Music Trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm glad you could be here with us. We are in question number 20. What was the biggest UK selling single for the year 1983? Let's see. Inner Peace is going with Dancing Queen. Dancing Queen. Some of these songs get stuck in my head for days after doing these. I'll just be in the shower and all of a sudden one of them will pop in my head and I'm like, Dancing Queen. And I'll start singing along to the song because it just pops in my head. It's wonderful how music does that to you. You can hear it and you can bring you back to that particular time in your life when you heard the song the first time, or maybe you have another memory attached to that song, a favorite person in your life, or a favorite location. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that attaches music to certain parts of my life and people. Do I have any Morrissey? Yeah. I have the Smiths. I would on the turntable right now. I have Meat is Murder, but I have a lot of the Smiths, Morrissey. Yes. Just before I went live, I was listening to. See, that would be the Smiths, right? Yeah. Not just you, Will. Well, good. I have a speaker in the shower. LOL music is my release. Yeah, if you've been on the a member of the 411 Now on Facebook, me and Rupel are always tagging each other and sending hey, listen to this. This is what we're listening to by the Smiths or Morrissey today. He's still making music to this day. He's put on a little bit of weight, over the years. But hell, which one of us hasn't, right? But I mean, he still sounds great. All right, question number 20. What was the number one best-selling single of the year of 1983 in the UK? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is C, as in cat, Karma Chameleon by the Culture Club. And here's to the Merry Christmas. Is everyone having fun? Here's to the future. It's just begun. That's cool. All right, number 21. What was Blur's first number one single in the UK? Was it A, Country House, B, State of Confusion, C, London is Burning, or D, Upside Down? What was Blur's first number one single in the UK? Boom. You Come and Go, Karma Chameleon. Morrissey vinyls are fetching big money. Are they? I've had my Smiths albums since probably from when they were released. I've always enjoyed, the Smiths and Morrissey's voice. I still hate that song today. Favorite color of red, gold, and green. No thanks. I knew Boy George was in that mixed up question. What was Blur's first #1 single in the UK? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, in case you guys think that this song was just #1 in the UK, it was number one in the United States for a while too. I think it only spent like 3 weeks at #1, but it stayed on the Billboard Top 100 chart for quite a while. So it was very popular in America as well, not just the UK, for this song by Blur. Lady in Red. Lady in Red. Amy's going, I'm guessing B. B, A, B. The answer to question number 21, ladies and gentlemen, is A. Stephanie Fisher. F. Just a gigolo. I'm just a gigolo. Everyone knows the bars that I'm playing. Just a gigolo, gigolo, gigolo. I pay for every dance. Was it Everyday Romance? It's playing in my head now. Thank you. The correct answer to question number 21 is A. A is in Apple. Country House was the first #1 single in the UK. Question number 22. I Like It Here with My Childhood Friends. This is the single that introduced Men at Work to the American audience. When it shot to #1 in October of 1982, do you recall the name of the song about the man who is a little paranoid? Is it A, Mental Ward, B, Look Over the Wall of Desire, C, Who Can It Be Now, or D, Is That You Now Calling? Number 21, a makeup test. Is a cult classic. It's a cult classic, not just in the UK, but everywhere. I mean, it's one of those songs that I'm not kidding. Every time I've ever gone out with my friends to a bar and they have like dancing or anything like that going on, you always hear that song. You can bet sometime in the night that song is going to be played, even if somebody has to request it. I'm just a gigolo everywhere I go. People know the part I'm playing. There will come a day, and youth will pass away. What will they say about me? Gigolo, gigolo. Yeah, yeah. I remembered part of it. It's been a while since I heard it. I have absolutely no Van Halen. I have no Van Halen. I have no Sammy Hagar, and just never was one of my things. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. I've got Queen. It's going to be stuck in my head. Who Can It Be Now is Amy's guess, which is C. I had to make my way upstairs. It's freezing. Winter's coming. Oh, your room is freezing. Where I live, if we get like a quarter inch of snow if we do, doesn't happen that often. But if we do get a quarter inch of snow, everybody around here just freaks out. They freak out. They freak out. That's the best way to put it. They freak out, and the lines are around the block to get your car into the tire shops. People want to get snow tires and studded tires and chains for a quarter-inch of snow. People just lose their effing minds. We don't get snow here very often. And I'm like, really? What are y'all worried about? Good night, everybody. I'm on mountain time tonight, going to sleep now. God bless y'all, and stay. Redcart, you have a great night and a terrific week ahead. And you stay safe out there. Okie dokie, I'm sorry I have to head off to bed. Love y'all. Okie dokie, you have a great night as well. And you have a terrific week ahead. And thank you very much for being here, both of you. And stay safe out there. All right, question number 22. The correct answer is C as in cat. Who can it be now? 23. Huey Lewis in the News album Sport was released with two different covers. Why? A, an NFL game on TV was copyright owned. B, a vulgar sign on the wall. C, members were drinking beer. Or D, hidden word on bottles in the background. Why was Huey Lewis in the News album Sport? Why was it released with two different covers? I don't mind the snow. I just don't like the negative 25 with the wind. Here in Tennessee, people go crazy if it snows. Yeah. You might think, oh, well, I might think I'm crazy if you hang around with you, or maybe you think I'm lucky to have something to do. I grew up with the snow. It doesn't bother me, but I think it's kind of comical watching people, put a quarter-inch of snow on the ground, no black ice, no frost layer underneath the snow, and they're losing their damn minds on the city side streets, let alone on the freeway. On the freeway, around here, they drive 10 miles an hour, or they drive like 100 miles an hour. They just don't think that they need to, adjust their driving for anything. In Missouri, if it snows, the grocery stores have no bread, milk, etc. I don't get it. Yeah, might be the delivery. Because the NFL has always been a bitch. Well, that is absolutely true, Jeannie. That's why the very first YouTube channel I was on was called The Longest Yard. That's why they got their asses shut down. The NFL came after them. Oh, they came after them hard for showing clips of the NFL footage and talking about it. England grinds to a halt with an inch of snow. Yeah, I'm from Michigan originally. I live in upstate New York. Lots of snow. Of hoarders. Question number 23. Huey Lewis in the News album Sport was released with two different covers. Why? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, to this is D. Hidden word on bottles in the background. All right. I do not have that album, but this is the second version. On these bottles right back in here, I'm going the wrong way. These bottles back here on the very first album, the word, each and every one of the labels was a different letter, and it spelled out asshole. Apparently, the artist who they paid to actually do the record album cover for the first release didn't like the compensation that he was being paid, so he put it in there to kind of like a middle finger to the record studio. That's the second version. where they blocked it out and it's just whited out. But the very first version, they tried to recall as many of them as possible, but there are some of them still out there. People panic it's snowing better than 37 loaves of bread, in case. We're getting lots of rain tonight in California. Oh, Interpeas, it started raining here like 2 days ago. And my wife left the window down on her car. The pocket on the door below all the electrical, the pocket down at the bottom of the door was filled all the way to the top with water. There's water running down the side of her actual seat. I don't know how she's going to get it all out of there. Well, it'll take an awful long time for it to dry. All right, question number 25. Which famous keyboardist is featured on the Smiths' 1984 self-debut release? Is it A, Paul Carrack, B, Phil Collins, C, Phil Oakey, or D, Cheryl Baker? Wisconsin, Will, isn't that where you're from? Yes, Cessna. I was born in Prescott, Wisconsin. I had lived there most of my life, well, until my late teenage years. And then when we moved over to the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, St. Paul first, then Minneapolis. And we still have a family farm there outside of Prescott. But that is where I'm from originally. It was Wisconsin, Minnesota. Wonder what the words were. Cessna said asshole. 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 Hint. It's not C. Cheryl Baker was in Bucks Fizz. Who is a famous keyboardist? Is featured on the Smiths' 1984 self-titled debut album. Donna is going with B. B. Everybody's going with Phil Collins. Interpeas. Lawrence Welk. Tiny Bubbles. Tiny Bubbles for the win, right? You can't have this license plate either. 31OHZZA. Oh my God, it's asshole upside. Okay, I just got it backwards. It took me a little bit there, Stephanie. I was like, what the hell? Why would you not be able to get that as a license plate? Will is writing my name down now. I'm in trouble. He already stopped using C because of me. Yeah, I did notice that there is a space on C that's not supposed to be there. The correct answer to the trivia question number 25 is A. A is in Apple. Paul Carrack is the keyboardist on the Smiths' 1984 self-titled album. '26. I'll wait here in this hole, playing poker with my soul. I hold the rifle close to me. It lights the way to keep me free. Who sang these lyrics? Was it A, Kurt Cobain, B, Big Sky, C, Blue Sky, or D, Big Country? Miss 411 now has a very wet car. Oh yeah, A very wet car. She did it 2 days in a row too. The first day I went out there, I caught it, while it was still raining, and then she went and ran errands, and she left the window down when it stopped raining, and then overnight, like yesterday, well, this morning I woke up at like 3 o'clock because my leg was hurting. I had to go, take more medication. But I got up and I was just like, I'm awake. I might as well stay up. So while I was downstairs and I went outside to feed the cats, and I just happened to notice that her window was down and it was raining. And I went in and told her, but she must have went back to sleep. She forgot all about it. And Armchair Detective MI5, my wife's name is Crystal, like the gem, Crystal. We have a podcast that we do here on YouTube. It's called Taco Podcast. TACO space PODCAST. Taco Podcast, like you eat a taco. Inner Peas is going with Share. I miss Cement Shoes so much. Yeah, well, surprised he's not here tonight with us. He must have other engagements. Where has Cement Shoes been lately? I miss his witty commentary. I think he has other things going on, Janie. He'll be back though. So I saw him just the other day. Well, online. I mean, I haven't seen him in person. Been a while since I've seen him on a stream. Other than that, she's a great woman. It's a great podcast. It's just me and my wife just talking about different subjects tonight. Well, today's podcast episode was on end of life the decisions, DNRs and living wills and trusts and stuff like that. Just talking about the decisions that a lot of people want to put off. They want to have it, I can do that next week. I can do that tomorrow. He's contemplating his navel. Stephanie Fisher. F. Cyndi Lauper. All right. Question number 26. The correct answer is D, as in dog. Big country. Big country. Question number 27. And the sun drips down, bedding heavy behind. The front of our dress is all shadowy lines, and drowning engine throbs in time with your beating heart. Who sang these lyrics? I know there's two of these back to back. All right. Is it A, the Thompson Twins, B, Culture Club, C, Duran Duran, or D, Talking Heads? Will, have you made your death plan yet? Yes. Pippadot. Me and my wife both have. Oh my God, I can't remember the name. I'm drawing a blank now. It's linked in the top of the comments on the Taco Podcast. We planned out everything. I mean, my family we have our own mausoleum for end of life decisions, and DNR and all things like that. We've already planned all that out. We've already paid for it all. It's something that we've lived through enough and buried enough friends and relatives, especially the last couple of years. And during this COVID thing, we've buried a lot of people. People just don't realize just how expensive funerals and all of it, can be. Let's see here. We have DCC. Just because somebody plans it out doesn't mean they plan on dying the next day. F, Metallica. Want to be lyrics for fuel. Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's good to hear from you again. It's a great song. Simon and Garfunkel. Which version do you like better, Simon and Garfunkel, or or do you? There's some really funny spoof versions of it too. Have you chosen what music you'd like played at your funeral? No, no, I haven't. I haven't done that. Um, I don't think either one of us ever got into music. Um, but the rest of our plans have all been picked out, paid for. So you know, you just never know. I could walk out of this, I could be sitting here doing this live stream. A jet engine could be flying over, and the engine fall off and crash in here and kill me. I don't know what's going to happen 10 minutes from now, or a minute from now, for that matter. I refer to the song Will's Will for the funeral question. Hello, darkness, my old friend. The sounds of silence. S&G sang it the best. Simon and Garfunkel. Ellie O'Brien, welcome to the music trivia. We're currently on question number 27 of 30, but there are also 2 bonus questions. Every breath you take. All right. Question number 27. The correct answer is C as in cat. Duran Duran sang those lyrics. Duran Duran. Question number 28. Who sang the song Our House, which reached #1 in Dubai on October 5th, 2015, but was released in 1980? Is it A, Marquette, whatever you fucking pronounce that, B, Madness, C, More for Love, or D, Motley Crue? Marquette. Is it A, Martica? Martica? I don't know. Whatever. The Amy, the Disturbed version was pretty good version of the Sounds of Silence. Inner Peace is going with E, the Bee Gees. Ellie O'Brien is going with Madness. B, 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 B. D, please, I hate Motley Crue. I have one Motley Crue album in my entire collection. The only one I have is Shout at the Devil. The only album by Motley Crue that I have. I like the album. It's the only album that I would probably ever own by Motley Crue. My oldest brother wanted another one, Bites the Dust, played at his funeral. That's fitting. I can see that. That there was I buried a really close friend some years back, and the songs that were played at his funeral, I still, every time I hear them, I don't even want to listen to the song. It just brings back too many memories. But so now those songs are always associated with that time, at least in my head. Yes, I tried to do that in Tennessee because Utah has a body farm, but they aren't accepting. I'd like to info for Texas for the body farm. Um, you can also look into what's called a green funeral. There there are more and more of them coming up all over the place. And if you're not familiar with what a green funeral is, basically they bury you without a coffin, or they bury you in a biodegradable coffin that's made out of recycled paper, or they cremate you, and they put you underneath a tree or a bush. But it's the way funerals were made before embalming. There's no embalming involved or anything else. At dust to dust, ashes to ashes. Kind of thing. But those are ways to do it as well. They are in Texas, New York, Tennessee, and I think one more. There used to be a body farm in Oklahoma as well, but I don't know if it's still there. Love Motley Crue. He's my shizzle. Lynn Boys, welcome to the music trivia. Who sang the song "Our House," which reached #1 in Dubai 25th October 5th, 2015, but was released in 1980? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer to this is B, as in boy, Madness. And the reason why the song reached the #1 on the charts in Dubai is because it was used for a Toyota commercial. Yes, and people are like, "I've heard this song before. Who sang this song? Where did the song come from?" And then it made the entire song, go basically viral in Dubai, of all places, in 2015. It was used for a car commercial. I'm not going to New York, not even when I'm dead. It's not that bad. Serial killers run body farms. You can be buried in a wicker basket under a tree, all natural, a green funeral. Yeah. They have a lot of them have multiple different arrangements depending upon where the actual cemetery is. There's lots of options. You can be cremated, you can be buried, in a biodegradable casket, wicker. It just you can't be embalmed. That's one of the rules, because they treat the soil, as it is. You come and you leave nothing behind. Basically, that's going to ruin the soil or the groundwater. Where's Ted Bundy when you need him? All right. Question number 29. According to Rick Springfield, who is loving his good friend with that body? I just know it. Is it A, Tracy Ullman, B, Lolita Goldman, C, Jesse's girl, or D, Alice's lover? You can get liquidized. Could also be shot into outer space too. Broken Justice, good evening. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. My young brother, brother's people for a living, and released a dove the other day. That's cool. I'm scared to death of the Tros car. The original body farm was for learning. I think that all the body farms originally started off, but they're finally reaching the max capacity for learning and what they can do within the actual environment. Shot into space, forgot about that. It's probably expensive. Yeah, I don't know, but I would guess it would probably be pretty expensive. William Shatner is going in. He went in space. Total have a water burial. They have underwater vaults where you can be cremated and put into. It's a concrete structure. It's a vault underwater. that marine life can swim in and out of. So it actually acts as a artificial barrier reef, but it's made out of concrete. But inside of that, the thing, it looks like coral, but inside of the thing are actual burials of burial vault of other people's remains inside of it. That's pretty cool. They do all kinds of things. Yeah, they're reinventing the funeral process every year, trying to come up with new ways because there's only a finite amount of earth we can put people. So the price tag for a burial is causing a lot of people to look at alternatives. No way, I'm staying. I'm paying $10K to be put in the ground in a coffin or vault. What's the reason? It's all more for the remaining family and friends. All right. According to Rick Springfield, who is loving his good friend with that body, I just know it. That is Jesse's girl. C is the correct answer for question number 29. Question 30. Abracadabra. I heat up, I can't cool down. You got me spinning around and around and around and around. It goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Which band sang this song? Was it A, the Eagles, B, Big Texas, C, Steve Miller Band, or D, the Allman Brothers? Why are they coming with you? They're not coming with you. It's a burial plots are more for the family to come and visit you, to say hello, to buy flowers and put them upon your grave, talk to you. I don't know. It's kind of weird how funerals have changed over the years. Abracadabra. I heat up, I can't cool down. You got me spinning around and around and around and around. It goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Which band sang this song? The Eagles, Big Texas, Steve Miller Band, or the Allman Brothers? We can split the cost, I guess. It's a lot easier to the process when you have a place to go visit people, a gravestone, that one part of why people are buried. He's also a joker, a smoker, and a midnight toker. Isn't it toker? He's a joker, he's a smoker, he's a midnight toker. Isn't that the lyric? I thought that was the lyric. It has to be B. That makes no sense. Big Texas. Toker. Smoke it if you got it. Smoke it if you want. It interpedes E. David Copperfield. Oh boy. All right, question 30. The correct answer is C as in cat. Steve Miller Band. Bonus question. Get it on, bang a gong. Well, you're dirty and sweet, clad in black. Don't look back. I love you. Who sang this song? Is it A, Twisted Sister, B, Mike and the Mechanics, C, Bobby Brown, or D, Power Station? I can't read and text anymore. It was super clear. Now it's fuzzy. I'm sorry, Janie. 420 somewhere, right, Stephanie? 420 somewhere. Get it on. Bang a gong. Well, you're dirty and sweet, clad in black. Don't look back, and I love you. Who sang this song? Well, please be aware this entire stream was impossible to read, very blurry. Is it? I'm sorry. It's perfectly clear on both the monitors on my end for where I'm reading it. The entire thing is in 4K. I'm really sorry it's blurring your end. I'll watch it and rewind and see if there's any difference between what I'm watching here, versus what's on my phone or another device that's not 4K. Did you try refreshing your actual feed through any of this, Pippadot? I mean, I'm not saying that it's your fault. I'm just wondering, how it's displaying to other people if it's been blurry to everyone. Because I'm not seeing it on this monitor here. I have the entire question, on this one, but on the top screen here, I have the trivia and everything running on one side, and I'm watching the stream on the opposite side, so I can see the questions in real time, and it's showing perfectly clear to me. If Interpeas is going with foreigner. The correct answer to this bonus question, ladies and gentlemen, is D as in dog, Power Station. That was the name of the band. Power Station. All right, next bonus question. Sammy Hagar sang, I Can't Drive 55. In what year in 1980s did the speed limit in rural interstates change from 55 to 65? Was it A, 1952, B, 1966, C, 1987, or D, 1997? John Taylor, Andy Taylor from Duran Duran, and Robert Palmer were Power Station. Were they? I knew that Palmer was in Power Station, but I didn't know the Taylors, both the Taylors were. Did not know that. That's interesting to know. Thank you for telling me. Sammy Hagar sang I Can't Drive 55. In what year in the 1980s did the speed limit in rural interstates change from 55 to 65? Ellie O'Brien is going with 87. We have B, D, C, E, 1965. Thank you, Interpeas. Definitely C. Definitely. C, C, F, 1932. Pippadot, 1987. The correct answer is C, ladies and gentlemen, 1987. In 1987, oh, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. It's the last time. That's when the speed limit went from 55 to 65. So the letter C, C as in cat, is the correct answer. 1987. Done. Well, you saw Sammy Hagar on tour. Palmer was simply irresistible. How am I feeling? I'm doing the best I can, trying to stay ahead of the pain. Um, every single day this week, I have a doctor's appointment every day. Actually, I had to write them all down. So tomorrow morning at 9:45 a.m., I have my first COVID test. I have to take. I have to take two. So tomorrow morning at 9:45 a.m., I have to go take a COVID test. Then at 1 o'clock, I have to go have blood drawn. Tuesday, I have a telephone. It's called telemedicine thing where I actually get to see the doctor, via a. It's kind of like Zoom, but it's actually an app that the hospital and doctor's offices use. I have that at 9:30. At 10:25, I have my pre-op appointment. That's in person. Wednesday, I have my second COVID, but it's a rapid COVID test. And then I have a meeting with my surgical team. Thursday, the 28th, I have an appointment with my general practitioner who wants to go over the medications that they are going to be giving me after surgery, plus the medication I'm on now, to make sure that there's nothing that's going to, um, you know, um, be a conflict with each other. In the meantime, I've been told to, because of the medications I'm on now that they've already given me, I've been told not to take any multivitamins or anything else. And then Friday morning at 7 a.m., I have to be at the surgery center. I have to check in there. And if the tendon and ligament has arrived by then, I will have surgery at the hospital, most likely, because just the way that everything's working out. And I will go in. They will take my temperature, everything else. They'll have the results back from both of the COVID tests. The reason why I have to have two COVID tests is because I have two different surgeons from two different hospitals that are actually doing the knee surgery. So each of them and their hospitals that they are from requires their own individual test, which is stupid, but still have to have it done. I was going to say, want to make sure you don't have COVID or get sick. Yeah. Well, Amy, I've been pretty much isolating myself right here in my studio as much as possible, not going to the store, not doing anything where I might meet somebody who has it, taking all the precautions I can. I mean, if I could show up in a Tyvek suit, in rubber gloves and one of those giant like oxygen masks, I would. But I gotta get the surgery done because I can't keep on living like this with this much pain. I love the ending to my weekend. Thanks for this, Will, so much. You're welcome, Amy. I'm glad that you enjoy it. 5 more sleeps to go. Yeah. Well, I hope you get through it fast. I hope so too. Yeah, it's yeah. My friends are all biting at the chomping at the bit, I guess you could say. They want me to get back, to what we normally do on the weekends, which is golf, and stuff like that. I'm like, it's going to be a while before I get out there to golf. Incidentally, though, so Friday when I go in for surgery, one of my friends is actually having surgery on her hand at the same time. Not the same surgeons, but the same place. So I was joking with my doctor and I said, can we get some kind of like group discount going here? I mean, look at all this business you got coming from us. Send your prayers. My husband had a horrible time getting his shoulder surgery last year. He went out of work last November, surgery April, back to work 2 weeks ago. Wow, Jets mom, I'm sorry about that. Why didn't they just replace your knee? Because of my insurance This is no joke at all. Because of my insurance has decided that because of my age, I don't qualify for coverage underneath their plan for knee replacement or hip replacement at this time. If I needed my hip replaced, wouldn't qualify for it. Got to wait another 5 years, and then I qualify for coverage for knee and hip. So what they're doing now is replacing the ligament and the tendon that is damaged in my knee. So they're doing that. More of a quality of life issue with them, with the insurance company. They can't change that. But they have a window, and they're very clear about it. Yeah, you have a certain window that you can get knee replacement and hip surgery, and then after the maximum, I think, is 63. After age 63, then you have to sit down and have a conversation with them on quality of life care. I've been paying these idiots for close to 25 years. Me and my wife have 25 years. Yeah, we have dental and vision and a couple of checkups here and there from family practitioners. We don't use a lot of our medical benefits. But for 25 years, it has been taken like a giant sucking sound in one direction, out of our pockets every single month. And now I need, medical care. They're like, maybe, but you can't have this, and you can't have this because you're not old enough for this. But you have to understand, you only get a sweet window until you need this, and you can't have it anymore. It's all a game. They're playing with people's lives. I had 3 back surgeries and lost the use of my legs. Got an infection and lost then the use of my legs. Still have nerve damage. Dr. Parrish, he gave surgery to President George Bush Jr. It sucks. I'm sorry about that. Ligaments and tendons are take longer to heal than broken bones. Yeah, I'm having it's the patellar medial is it carotid tendon. It's the PCML ligament. Whatever the hell that stands for. But patellar medial something ligament. They have to replace it because it's torn lengthwise and across. My doctor refused to work together. Ooh, well, don't you know exactly your exact situation? My mom had knee replacement at 79, and she sailed through. Painful, yes. The therapy afterwards was huge. Ooh. Yeah, they're telling me 4 to 6 months with physical therapy is the total prognosis for total 100% recovery from this. I have to have my leg completely immobilized for 3 weeks. I mean, absolutely the very minimum. Walking or putting any kind of weight bearing on it at all, because the way that they reattach the tendon to the bones and the ligament back to the bone, it can easily be torn back off, and basically, if I tear it, damage it. Don't know if the insurance company would pay for a second go around, second bite at the apple. I mean, it was hard enough to get them to want to pay for it the first time. Can your physical problems be attributed to in the Marines? I wish, Brooks, because that was one of the first things that they asked me when I went in to have my knee looked at, if it was service related. And no, it's not service related. It's all the stupid things that I did afterwards and on my own free time. Yeah, I'm paying for it. All those little injuries that along the way in our lives that we have, we're like, you know what? It'll heal up. It feels better. We move through it. It's still a little bit painful. I have a stiff back or, a stiff joint, and you move through it and you just keep on going along through life. Well, all of those little tiny injuries built up to where I'm at now. I just kept on ignoring it. For the last 6 months, my knee has, as I'm walking along, all of a sudden my knee would lock up at a 45-degree angle, poof, and down I would go. I would fall. It'd take about 15 minutes for the muscles to relax in my knee to the point where I could actually, put weight on my legs again. That's been happening for 6 months. My doctor's like, well, why didn't you come see us 6 months ago when it first started to happen? And I'm like, golf season was coming up. I wish there was another reason, but that's the truth. I was like, no, I'm that addicted to golfing. I enjoy it so much. It's my only time away from everything. Where I can just turn off everything, my mind, all of it, and focus on just that. So it's helped me keep my sanity for as long as I've had it. Now I don't remember where I left it though. I'm gonna have to go look for it tomorrow. I did, Donna. I had a muscle relaxer. It was a muscle relaxer and something other, like pain med that was mixed together. Because I had to go to a compound pharmacy. Couldn't go to a normal pharmacy to get the stuff, off the shelf. But I had one. I used them all up though. They're all gone. But I have a whole list of new ones they're going to give me afterwards. Mike Stevens, good evening. You may be fearing for nothing. Think positive. I was worried about side effects from COVID vaccine, and I was fine and worried for nothing. That's good. How honest is Will? He could have said yes, but thank you, Gertie. And I hope you and Mike, I hope you both had a wonderful weekend. We've already finished the music trivia for tonight. I'm just kind of hanging out. I got nothing else to do. And I'd like to talk with people. You'd be on that golf course sooner than you think. Positive thinking. Oh, I wish. I'm kind of hoping. Me and my friend who had, she's having surgery on her hand. Um, they're telling her 4 weeks before she can go out there and golf again. So we're thinking about becoming chauffeurs. Drive our golf carts around at the golf course. Just show up at the clubhouse and just offer the drive. Hey, don't rent a cart. We'll drive you around for free. Why not? It's something to do on the weekends, right? Donna Soma is best for muscles. You have a similar to Soma, actually. I looked it up because I hadn't heard of it before. They can. And Rewind, everything's on my channel. It's always there. Yeah, we pay for a yearly membership, and we both have golf carts there. I mean, why not? Yeah, I mean, the golf course probably doesn't want us to do it because they make money off of somebody renting a golf cart. At least it gives us something to do. There's not too many of our friends who golf at this time of the year, anyways, because they're most of our friends that we golf with are in their 70s and 80s. A couple are in their 90s, but we don't see you next Sunday, we will know you're convalescing from surgery. Well, thank you, Brooks. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, to do the Saturday or the Sunday. If I have to stay in the hospital Friday overnight, there's no way I'll be out of the hospital to even close to um, the time to do the Saturday morning stream. So I don't think they would release me from the hospital until like 10 if they did. But I don't know. Maybe they keep me for 2 days. I don't know. We don't have a clue at this point. They said just kind of wait and see how everything goes from the surgery. Since we're just chatting, I want to address that this past week with LB um, info coming out. You got hit pretty hard for being one of the first to confirm. Never let haters get to you. Keep doing you. Oh, Stephanie, trust me, sweetheart. There's no way in hell I'm ever going to be anybody but me. Yeah, it sucks. The worst part about all that hatred and people who came after me was watching people who, have been subscribers to my channel, some of them 2 years, a year, that, I'm like, wow, of all the people who are turning on me was people who have been subscribers and supporters of my content all this time. And I really thought if anybody would know, who I am and what my content was about, it'd be the people who've been here for like 2 years, as a subscriber. And a couple of them were actually at one point, Patreon supporters of mine. And they turned on me in a heartbeat because I wasn't the first one. I was the first one to get the news out there. They didn't want to hear it from me. They wanted so and so to be the first one to release it. They didn't want me to be the first one to do it. No, I don't know. Can't be jealousy. Just people who never understood, are never going to understand what my content's about. Donna, you first found me on the Watts case. That's been a long time, Donna. Don't even try to do either Saturday or Saturday or Sunday. Just take a damn rest. We'd all understand. Yeah. Don't take this the wrong way, Janie. I appreciate that, but it's hard. It's really hard for me. My wife says that well, how did she put that? You're a stubborn jackass, is how she put it. Regardless if it's in your benefit or not, you're going to keep on working regardless. Even if she strapped me down to a bed, I would find some way to still work. She goes, we'd have to knock you out so you're completely unconscious just to get you to, to stop. And even though I'm injured now, I mean, I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere else. So I'm planted here. That's why, I put out more videos, in the last, month than I've ever put out on YouTube and in any month prior. A lot of content. That's all going to change though. The meals in prison. Yeah, I did one on the food that Christopher Watts was eating at in the Weld County Jail, and then I did one that of the foods that he was eating at the Dodge Correction Center. I've done a couple other ones on different high profile cases on the different meals and stuff like that inmates are eating. It's kind of at least it's interesting to me. Hope it is to other people. What other inmates in different penitentiaries get. Some meals are really good. The food's really, really delicious looking, and other places it's just pure slop. Well, if you get bored and are high on meds, come in Saturday, Sunday. Oh, that's what I work. Say, take care of yourself. See you soon. Well, thank you, Stephanie. That's how long you've been around, though. Well, I appreciate it. Well, your support's lovely. We all understand. You know what hard work you do. Well, thank you. I just wish more of the world knew. In some aspects, certain groups and stuff like that of people are finally recognizing it. You know, I'm never going to be the next YouTube rising star. Or and I really do not think that I'm ever going to be appreciated by millions of people who watch my content and enjoy it. It'd be appreciated. I'd like to be appreciated for the work that I do from people. At least respect what I do and respect the fact that I'm not going to, blow smoke up people's asses, their backsides because I can. I mean, there's a million other channels out there that who can do that, and they do a perfectly good job at it. I don't have time for it. I want to do it the way I want to do it, and I hope that other people understand that if I can't document it, I'm not going to talk about it. So it's sad. Well, I'm trying to spread 411 now word. No, thank you, Pip Dot. Appreciate it. Well, it was very interesting, especially to see the list of things that they can't buy, etc. Oh yeah. I had somebody tell me the other day that Christopher Watts is eating like a king from the commissary in the comment section. It took everything that I had in me, not to tell that person that whoever told them that was full of shit. It took everything within me to to not call him out on that. I was like, really? Because I've actually you can request his commissary records from the actual Dodge Correction Center from the Department of Information. You can request those records, and they're online. They're all over Reddit. And I'm like, oh no, he ain't. No, well, he buys shampoo, conditioner, like the 2-in-1. He buys bar soap. He buys popcorn, and he buys top ramen noodles and beef sticks. That's about it. You don't eat like a king from the commissary. But it's just funny to me, and it's fun, and probably not to a lot of other people. But I mean, these people are lying, and they're trying to feed a narrative to you, and it's like, come on, there's no way. Even if he bought one of everything on the commissary list that they have at Dodge Correction Center, first off, he ain't got the money for that, and his parents aren't giving him the money for that, because 75% of everything that goes onto that commissary list, his inmate account, every dime that comes in, 75% of that is taken away for the garnishment that pay the roost checks. But 75% of everything that comes in goes to the roost checks. And if his parents had money and enough money to put on his account, and it would take a lot of money, an awful lot of money, all at once to get onto the account before he could even buy a lot of stuff on the commissary. Now, I have prerequisite said this also. When it comes to purchasing airtime cards to be able to call mom and dad, or to call each other by CT TV, it's kind of like a webcam setup that they have at Dodge Correction Center. they don't garnish the money for that. It's a completely separate account. So Vaseline. Hey, Will, love you and the family. Well, thank you, Mary. We love you too, Mary. I hope you had a terrific weekend, and I hope next week is better for you. Yeah. Well, he's gonna need that Vaseline. It's just amazing how people they want to believe these things. And why do they do it? Why do they believe it? I have no idea. And it's some of the most ridiculous things too. I mean, it's kind of like the whole entire thing with Christopher Watts when people said that he was going to be able to file to get a new trial, that he would there was grounds for him to get a new trial, that they were going to he was going to get a full trial. Anybody who believes that never read any of the paperwork on his actual plea deal. It's right in there in the plea deal that he will never ever be able to have a full trial. He gave up those rights to ever question witnesses, to call and question evidence. He gave it all up. There's no way he can file a C-13 request. There's no mistakes within the actual judicial system from when he was actually, when he took the plea deal. A first-year law student or pre-law student could read this stuff and say, there's nothing here. But people believe it anyways. And they gave money, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times. People have put up GoFundMes to raise money for Christopher Watts to get a new trial. What? Why? He's never going to get one. Do you think those people requested their money back? Certainly the whole hope they did. But that money probably went into a GoFundMe and somebody took it right back out. I can't say who did it, with that, proof. I know one lady who did it, and she's wacky as shit. Will, can the Petitos file a wrongful death case against the Laundries? Not a wrongful death claim, not in the state of Florida, but they definitely can file a civil lawsuit against them for emotional harm and emotional abandonment. And that would be easy to prove. Just the 11 days where the Laundrie family ignored their phone calls, text messages, and other communication via social media, where they ignored them for those 11 days. And they could prove that. The problem is, will the Petito family feel the need to want to have to drag out this entire thing in the court of law? I don't see it happening though, but I think they should. But I don't think they're going to do it though. If I had to place money on it, I'd probably put it maybe at a 20% chance, that they would do it. From everything that I see from the outside looking in on the family, both sets, because the parents are divorced and remarried. I don't see it going that way. I mean, right now they're dealing with the tragedy of having lost their daughter, and they're dealing with everything else. And they want space, and they want people to leave them alone, and rightfully so. But I don't see them wanting to, financially. I mean, you can get money from the Laundries, but there's only so much that's going to happen because they already lawyered up, so they're not going to give a deposition or anything else or a civil case. So It would be a long, drawn out process if they were to try. And I don't think that they'd want to do it though. Yeah. You know, see, that's the thing with people though. You know, Christopher Watts, I mean, when he stood there and he was pleading for, people to help find his wife and kids, it's kind of hard for me because, there were certain things and certain clues to even, a layman that, if you watch the video, you could see how he had turned his body away from the reporter, and your body tells you a lot about an individual if they point their body, especially like he did, in the manner where, he had the access to, fight or flight. He always kept on turning and looking towards the direction of, this is direction that I go if it gets too deep, and that entire interview in the front of his house is like, oh Jesus. If you watch it, again, and know that how you can do something like that. You can, because Christopher Watts is, completely detached, emotionally from his family for what he had just done, you know, to his family. It's hard. It's almost infathomable, how to think about how you can go and take the lives of your children, your innocent children. And he had all that time from the time that he loaded his dead wife in the truck and drove all the way to work, to the field site, with his two girls alive in the back seat. He didn't have to do it. And there had to be a cooling off point where he started to rationally try to make sense of it. That would have taken up the first part of, like, oh, loading the wife and the kids in the truck, wife in the truck, get the hell out of here. That part, he probably was clouded and his judgment was clouded, but trying to, then drive there without wrecking his truck, company truck, and driving all the way there, and then trying to logically make the decision to kill the children, and then what to do with the children after he killed them. Because he could have, here he dug hastily, dug grave for Shanann. He could have killed both of the girls and thrown them in there. But, subconsciously, on some level, he separated Shanann and the girls for a reason in his mind. And there are things like that. That's what makes me do this, is trying to figure out why psychologically he decided to go that route. Why did he, after he buried his, Shanann, did he decide then and there that it was time to kill his children? What drove him to that point of wanting to put his hands against them? He could have just left the girls at home, loaded her up in the truck, and drove off. Did he have an exit strategy to any of this? And it's obvious from his statements and everything else afterwards, he didn't really have an exit strategy. He wasn't planning on killing his family and then running off and starting a new life with Nicole. Yeah, she might have been a nice little side piece for him, but it would have gotten to the point eventually where she would have been just as much danger as Shanann was in their entire relationship. If it would have worked out and he got away with murdering his kids and his wife, she would have been next. And I don't think she ever realized that. And it had to be scary as hell to her to finally, realize, oh my God, he did this. Yeah, a lot of people still think that she was guilty of a lot more. That's funny. I put up that one video, but almost 2 years ago or whatever the hell it was, yeah, about her, and everybody thought that I was a shill for her daddy, that he paid me to make that video. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, that's real. That happens. I laugh at it because the absurdity of it all. No, yeah, she was clear. If there was any way that they could prove that that she did anything at all in the entire event, she took part, she talked them into it, she pressured them into it, something, anything. They would have loved to have prosecuted her just as much as they did Chris. They would have dragged her right into court, right along with it. And it would have been easier to prosecute her than it would have been to prosecute Chris. But they didn't because there wasn't any evidence there. She was cleared. That is 10 p.m. in Mesa, Arizona. And by the way, F Watts. Yeah, it's insane. It happened. Family side happens a lot more often than people realize. That's where one parent kills the children and the other spouse. It happens a lot more. And if you actually keep, an eye on the news, you'll see these cases pop up over and over again. The only difference is an overwhelming majority of them, it ends with the perpetrator committing suicide. It's the last and final act that they do. They always kill the one child first, that they have the absolute that they're the closest to. They kill that child first, then they kill the other child, and then if after the wife, maybe the children are first, then the wife, or whatever. It doesn't matter how it works out. Which one is in which order, but 9 times out of 10, when it happens, the last act is that person commits suicide, and you'll see it on the news: murder, suicide, father kills children and wife. It happens an awful lot more than people realize. The difference is the rare circumstances where they do it and then they try to get away with it, or they plead for the return. And it's men and women both who do it, who've killed the children and killed the other spouse, or tried to kill the other spouse. You know, that Watts is having a crappy night. I'm sure he's having a lot of crappy nights. And every night that he gets as crappy is one night he doesn't deserve. Reading his Bible. Yeah, he says that he's been forgiven. Okay. Good night, chat. Be safe and have a great week ahead. Yeah, I'm going to take off to Pippadot. Thank you, everyone. I hope that everyone enjoyed the trivia. We will work on this format of how it's displayed on the screen, the background, the colors, and everything else. This is the first time that I've ever used Restream, except for the couple of practices we've done. But just the first time I've done it solo. And obviously, if you were here from the beginning, I had to actually phone a friend, which is my daughter, because she's my tech center, to actually help me work through this to figure out how to make this all work. But again, thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the trivia night, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. I mean, make sure you click it twice. That way, YouTube really knows you didn't like it. Will. That will. That all will, and the best to you this week. Can't wait to hear how easy it was. Ooh, I don't think it's going to be easy. Not Ellie. You stay safe out there, Ellie. But again, everyone, thank you again. And you all have a great week ahead.